Good morning, everybody. Friends, today we are beginning a topic from your new books which is available in market, that is biography. Third topic, that is inheritance and variation. Friends, earlier we discussed about the sex determination in human being from the same topic, but today we are taking this topic from the beginning, initially, and completing onwards, so that the introduction of the topic, that is inheritance and variation, already done. Even though we must know inheritance means the character or the genetic character is passing from one generation to another generation, one generation to the next generation. That transmission of character from one generation to next generation is nothing but the inheritance of the character. And after the inheritance, some variations are found into the new progeny or in new offsprings. In this topic, introductory, here given the great scientist experiments, that is Gregor Mendel. He is nowadays called as the father of genetics. Now, Mendel, first of all in the world, given the successful data about the genetics and the ratio and the laws about the genetics and which are they accepted all over the world by the scientists and everybody. Nowadays, farmers are using all the seeds here depending upon or whatever the hybridization experiment done by the Mendel. From that, nowadays the crop yield is increased according to the demand of the public in India also. Now, that father of genetics, Gregor Mendel, was a son of peasant farmer in Moravia. 1822 he was born, and he done the experiment, hereditary experiments in case of the plant. He selected for his experiment the Pisum sativum, the pea plant. Commonly it is called as pea. Now, pea plant is selected by the Mendel for his experiment, and he was the first scientist who given the whatever the experiment done, that is update every step, every plant, every seed is recorded well, he is managed well evaluation done, well statistical data is maintained, and finally from that statistical and mathematical collection and data he expressed the conclusion in the form of laws. He given the 3 laws of the heredity or laws of inheritance given by the Mendel. That is law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. Here we want to see later on these 3 laws. But first of all, whatever he done in his experiment and what he was maintained in his experiment, even though the work, this valuable work is unnoticed near about 22 or 35 years, up to 35 years, this noticeable work is not focused by the scientists in the world. Afterwards, after his death, Gregor Mendel death, the work of this Mendel was rediscovered by the 3 scientists in 19th century. Especially the Koreans focused the work, and after the death he awarded the Nobel Prize for his valuable work. So this Mendel first of all performed the experiment on the pea plant, and he is only one got the success in his experiment. And luckily, he was selected for his experiment, the pea plant, the Python sativum in his experiment. That is also one of the most important milestone in his experiment. Now, what are the experiment and why the Mendel selected the pea plant? Why he got the success? Behind that, plenty of results are there. What I already told you, that the well management for the experiment, every step, every generation he recorded statistical data. Not only this, he mentioned every time whatever the hybridization experiment done, at a time he selected only one character initially. After that, he taken two characters, that is contrasting pairs of the characters are taken for his experiment. And later on 2, 3, 4, likewise the characters are taken for the experiment at a time. Initially, a single character is taken as a contrasting pair of character. Now Mendel selected 7 pairs of contrasting character. Here tabulated that 7 pairs. The characters are given in this row. That is, first character, suppose seed shape. The second, seed color. Pod shape, pod color. Flower, flower position, and height of the stem. Such 7 pairs of contrasting characters are selected by the Mendel. And in each character, he found that the one of the contrasting pair is dominant and other one is recessive. Out of suppose seed shape is taken by the Mendel for first time, that we found that around the seed shape, which is a smooth one, the outer coat of the seed is round, smooth, so that it is a round, but this is the dominant character, whereas the another seed shape of the pea plant, which is wrinkled or rough, we can say that is wrinkled, is recessive. Means round is contrasting to the wrinkled. Round is dominant, wrinkled is recessive. Likewise, here seed color, yellow seed color is always dominant over the green seed color. Likewise, pod shape, pod means the fruit. In Marathi, we can say it is a shenga. Now, this pod shape, inflated pod shape is dominant over constricted pod shape. That is denoted by the gene capital I, dominant gene, small I, the recessive gene. Now, pod color also, green color is dominant over yellow color of the pod color. Then flower color, purple color flowers are there. Simply we can say colored flower is denoted by capital C, and white color small c later. Now purple or colored flowers are dominated over white colored flowers. Now flower position. Flower, sometimes pea plants, some plants have the axial flowers, and sometimes the pea plants showing the terminal flowers. At the tip of the plant, flowers are observed. So that axial flowers are dominant over terminal flowers. Capital A is dominant over small a. Now last 7th character of the contrasting pair, here height of the stem, that is tall. Stem height is going to tall. At the same time, another stem of the pea plant found by the Gregor Mendel was dwarf, and tall is always dominant over dwarf. Such a 7 pairs of contrasting character selected by the Mendel when he mentioned the statistical and mathematical collection of his experiment. That is one of the steps why he got the success. Not only this, each time he recorded every record, every generations, the quantitative as well as qualitative records in his experiment. And the most important thing is that he introduced in his experiment the concept of dominance and recessive. The concept of dominance means he whenever he got the experiment, whenever he select the character of the experiment, suppose the seed set is selected for his experiment, at that time he found that one is dominating over the another. The dominating character is here, suppose seed shape round is the dominant over wrinkled. Means round is dominant and wrinkled is recessive character. Dominant and recessive character is mentioned by the Mendel. At a time he got a single character. Later on, the 2, 3 or more than these characters are taken at a time. Later on, and made a statistical data in the form of ratios. Now, if we go detail into the experiment, how the Mendel done his experiment, we must know some terminology in his experiment, what he referred, the terms, symbols, we must know. For that, before going into the experiment, we go for the introducing the terminology and symbols. Okay.